Multiple people have been shot near a festival in Toledo, Ohio, authorities say. Multiple people have been shot near the Old West End Festival in Toledo, Ohio. Officers are actively searching for the suspect or suspects involved in the incident after responding to the scene around 5:30 p.m. local time. Many victims have been transported to nearby hospitals for treatment, Toledo police said on Facebook. No information was available on how many people were wounded or what their conditions were. Police are asking people to avoid the area as they conduct their investigation. A significant presence of officers remains at the scene. The Old West End Festival is an annual 2-day event in the city's historic district, with one of the largest neighborhoods of Victorian houses in the country. It gets worse! Why? The event had been scheduled to kick off with a parade Saturday morning and features live music and food markets. 2 festival goers said that they were enjoying the event when they heard multiple shots and saw panic break out, describing the scene as pandemonium. Once I heard everybody get back, everybody was falling, everybody tripping, couldn't see what it was, couldn't see nothing, said one man who asked to remain anonymous. Another man he was with, who also asked to remain anonymous, told WTOL he heard at least 10 shots fired. CNN has reached out to the Toledo Police Department for more information. This story was tailor-made to hurt Kirsche personally. Festival goers shot in real time, cartoon Fox most affected. Yeah, that sounds like more than 10, buddy. Why we need gun reform, because criminals keep committing these shootings. We don't need gun reform, you fucking retard! We need to actually get criminals prosecuted! The fuck is wrong with you? Criminals don't give a shit about crime. They're going to do it anyway. A fucking gun-free zone isn't gonna stop them. What are you talking about?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Wait, no, this is the fucking retard from Twitter. This is the fucking Twitter retard that lies about me. Holy shit.
And 3, since I know you've considered this, the people who are working there, regardless of legal status, were simply trying to make a living to help their families.
Is this you? Well, if you are, there's hope, there's help, there's the please, please, please get a life foundation.
Oh my god, get fucked, retard. You literally do not understand how reality works, and I don't know how you're alive. You're like 52 IQ and you need a tard wrangler. Where are your parents? You shouldn't have unfettered access to the internet as a 29-year-old man, dude. Mod, snip his balls off.
Yep, you're back. Oh, have a good night.
What we need is more gun owners to be at these places. We need people to be armed, man.
Who? Oh, look at his leg.
Look at his leg. That's what we were doing before the shooting.
Shit don't make no motherfucking sense. Aw.
He got shot in his leg. Somebody right there.
Somebody right there. Where? Oh my gosh. Oh, lady got shot. Oh,
She got shot in her head and it's
Oh my god. The Toledo Festival shooting is still developing. Multiple victims confirmed near the Old West End Festival, and police say the suspect is still on the loose. Heavy police presence remains as the manhunt continues. Hopefully the manhunt ends with them shooting whoever the shooter is. Fuck that guy. Look at all the pretty houses! Oh, God. Update in Ohio, multiple people were injured in a shooting near Delaware and Glenwood Avenues in Toledo on Sunday evening. Police responded around 5:37 p.m. and found several victims, all of whom are expected to survive. Well, thank fucking God for that, at least. Thank God the shooter's a fucking retard who can't aim. That is one thing that I am always glad for. When people, unfortunately, they shouldn't get shot in the first place, but at leleast they're going to survive, right? Police responded around 5:37 p.m. and found several victims, all of whom are expected to survive, according to Toledo Mayor Wade Kopzukiewicz. Authorities are searching for suspects, while residents have been advised to avoid the area as multiple law enforcement agencies continue their investigation.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Oh my god, wait, that's blood! Wait, that's blood! I thought this was like a design on this guy's t-shirt. What the fuck? I don't know if that's his blood or someone else's, but holy fuck, I hope he's okay, dude. What the fuck?
Oh, man, you shot? Be still. Sit down, man. Sit down.
Yeah, calm Call the hospital.
If that's him, if that's a gunshot wound, this guy like related to 50 Cent, brother. What the fuck?
Yeah, he gotta sit down.
Oh my god!
Call 911 right here.
I am so glad that they said that everyone's gonna be okay, because that looks fucking scary, dude. He was just trucking that shit. God damn. This is one of the only blue areas in Ohio. Really? What the fuck? Adrenaline's a hell of a drug. Oh my god. Adrenaline? Yeah. Probably the adrenaline. I'm glad he finally sat down, because people were telling him, like, brother, you need to sit the fuck down. You need to take a load off. Stop fucking walking. Could be the guy refused to sit down because he's afraid he won't get back up. I mean, it's very possible. But, like, if he sits down, that gives people a chance to, like, try and compress his wound until the fucking medics get there. Jesus Christ. So far, the only people who've shown up for the anti-redneck rally in Frisco, Texas are good old-fashioned American redneck patriots. I didn't even know there was an anti-redneck rally. What the heck? This is the moment Zul Muhammad showed up to his own anti-redneck rally by himself and was immediately surrounded by protesters. What in the fuck is an anti-redneck rally? Jesus is king. USA! 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 Oh god, I love that chant, man. It's like Pavlovian programming, you have to join in. Oh bro, this dollar store Hulk Hogan looks like a real man next to this tiny midgety bald one. So, what the fuck is even this? This guy tried an anti-redneck rally and then a bunch of rednecks showed up instead?
Yes.
We got a fucking Viking on our side over here? Look at this guy. He's just missing, like, the side braids into the top knot Viking bun. He fears the corn-fed true American hero. Redneck Thor, hell yeah. This guy learned in real time, why you just let rednecks live in peace? This woman, you can't see her very well behind my head. She's literally wearing American flag print overalls. Oh, I guess they're shorteralls. They ended her knee. I've never seen American flag print shorteralls, but that is some redneck attire. Let's go, dude. Are they asking that weird baldlet to strip? Why are they chanting "take it off"? I guess this is just like 7.5 minutes of this guy being surrounded by rednecks because he wanted an anti-redneck protest, but like nobody showed up. I don't support veterans. That actually came out of this man's mouth. What?
How do you feel about veterans? I don't support veterans. What? The only
He wants to create a new.
You don't support the vets that died. No one died for you. The only people that made sacrifices. Nobody dies for you. The only people that made sacrifices are my parents. No one died for you.
Did you just say the only people who made sacrifices are my people? What the fuck? Zul Muhammad is a Carrollton resident who is currently facing multiple felony charges and is also a candidate for Carrollton mayor in the May 2026 election. In 2024, Muhammad pleaded guilty to more than 100 felony counts related to a mail ballot fraud scheme carried out during his failed 2020 Carrollton mayoral campaign. Yesterday, he decided to hold an anti-redneck rally at Frisco City Hall. I feel even less bad for him. You know, there might have been a sliver of like, oh no, he's surrounded by a ton of people, but like 100 felony counts related to mail-in ballot fraud, and he's running again for mayor? How is that even allowed? I feel like if you commit fraud, you should be just like completely barred from ever trying again. What the fuck are we doing? The actual fuck? There is no Dana, only Zool. The rally did not go well for him. Hundreds of redneck patriots showed up while he arrived completely alone with no visible support. Many of us confronted him about his views. During those conversations, he stated that he does not support veterans, a bold statement considering that a large number of us there were veterans. He also said he wanted to dismantle the U.S. government and rebuild it while incorporating certain aspects of Sharia law. He wants to implement Sharia law. He hates veterans. He's already committed mail-in ballot fraud. I'm pretty sure he's going to win his election, actually. I would be surprised if he loses. Turd worlders are a protected class in America now, Kirsche. It's all so fucking tiresome. At one point, I confronted him on the topic of abortion. At 6 to 8 weeks, you don't think it's a baby. No. When does it become one? I don't know. So don't you think it's a little disturbing if you don't know? No, he said. Wow, okay. When people tell you who they are, listen to them. Ask your questions and let them answer. They will reveal exactly who they are. This man should not be in any elected position in America. True, he is not. Quick clarification, he lost his mayoral run in May and is wanting to be a write-in for Senate. You gotta get that is at by any means necessary, Yesterday at the Redneck rally, I preached a message most churches won't touch. America doesn't need more politicians, celebrities, or influencers. America needs repentance. The crowd wasn't looking for religion. They heard the gospel, the call to turn from sin, and the truth that Jesus Christ is still king. This is what bold public Christianity looks like in 2026.
Because some Muslim got his and her feelings hurt for calling off Muhammad for his pedophilia, power-bottoming, necrophilia, cross-dressing self. And that—
Damn, what a line to unmute to! Holy fuck!
That's right. Mr. Zul Muhammad, start calling him Muhammad al-Zut. Do you know what al-Zut is, the night of al-Zut? No. It's the night Muhammad got ridden all night long by tall, dark-skinned figures. That's in their hadith. Muhammad is a power bottom.
Fucking what?
Fuck with a 9-year-old. But hey, you know what? He was a gentleman. Between the age of 6 and 9, he just thigh'd her. Do you know there are more things in the hadith about cleaning semen stains off Muhammad's clothes and anything else? The man was the biggest pervert that ever walked the earth. And these people—
You're telling me that the Prophet Muhammad has cleaned up more semen stains than Bonnie Blue?
Their goal is to be just like him, which means they want to rape your children, rape your farm animals, and you have to pay a tax or die. Islam, that's the only choice we have. Pay a tax, convert, or die. And if we don't stand up, you can't blame the devil for acting like a devil, but you can blame Christians for not acting like Christ. Christ is not some weak-kneed, limp-wristed who called us to—
Holy shit! Oh my God!
To bring a sword. The word of God is the divider between us and them. They need to convert or get
this guy's going hard in the paint, my guy.
Christ is king. Christ is king, and they will bow down. They're going to do it now, or they're going to do it then. But one day, every stinking Muslim will bow down and confess Jesus Christ is Lord, including Muhammad al-Zut back there.
Holy shit! What a complete 180 from the usual Christians we see in media, where they're just like, well, I know my son got murdered by an immigrant, but we can't be divisive right now. I know my daughter was raped and murdered because of the color of her skin, but we need to come together and not create more division. What a fucking 180. Like how long it took Kirsche to react to the naughty word. Well, yeah, that's just regular lingo. I'm back in New England. I hear that shit every day outside now. That's our fucking word. The gays took it from us. Look at what I found outside Frisco City Hall. How much does it cost to put a billboard on a truck like this? Because, like, maybe I could assist in making New Hampshire insufferable for progressive retards. Religious extremist who wants religious laws over civil sector and Western laws still has the most vile lib shit takes. It's not that he actually has, like, how do I put this? The vile lib shit takes, he's obviously going to agree with certain ones, but other ones he's going to just agree with in order to have optics to get elected. You can look it up. Hell yeah, binary mind. A truck making autism noises. Don't convince Kirsche to make one of these trucks until her AC unit is vented outside, and she's crushed her HOA in court. What do you mean? I don't have an HOA. Oh, that's nuts. There's even one on the back of the truck. Crazy. This guy right here. Patriot. Wrap your car in anti-illegal and anti-H1B images. I don't think my meme folder could probably be considered active aggression in war in current year with how clown world things have gotten. Okay, this guy. Imagine being the girl who gets pity raped at the CNC orgy. There were a lot of people who didn't know that CNC was consensual non-consent. But this is a Matryoshka doll of a tweet. You got someone named Romy that says, everyone's like, you can't give advice about meeting someone. You just got lucky, met your husband at an orgy. Oh, that's just totally random and not something anyone else can do. You got lucky. You met your husband at an orgy. I don't think those two sentiments belong in one sentence. But then someone named Rhett responded and said, I also met my girlfriend who I'm obsessed with, along with other people I've dated or simply become normie friends with, at a gangbang or CNC, once again, consensual non-consent orgy. It's just like the square dancing club our parents went to, but for hornier people.
What a whore!
I could not imagine having to, like, tell the story about how you met. Someone said, we gotta nuke San Francisco, man. And then Captain Miglou said, I wonder what the etiquette at the CNC orgy is. Like, how do you avoid pretend raping the unattractive girls without hurting anyone's feelings? And then Ayla of gangbang notoriety, she even made spreadsheets on her gangbangs. She said, this is actually a huge problem. Apparently a huge problem to contend with in the consensual non-consent orgy world is how to avoid raping someone consensually that you find unattractive. Which, if we're consensually non-consenting and we're also LARPing and rape, wouldn't raping the unattractive ones be more of a role play than just pretending to rape the attractive ones? Like, that would add to the story, would it not? But it's like, I couldn't fucking imagine, like, going to, like, my parents and being like, Jeremy and I have been dating for 10 months now, and it's time to tell you guys that we're serious, and we want to tell you the story of how we met. It's kind of sweet, actually. There was a giant orgy that we were having at a downtown LA hotel, and my husband was double bricking up 2 women at once, but I could tell there was something wrong. It was just the way his face contorted. I knew he was actually pretending to rape a woman that he didn't really find attractive. And so I saddled up next to the unattractive woman and I said, oh no, I dropped my lipstick on the ground. I hope there's no swarthy men around who would take advantage of me when I bend over to pick it up. And he immediately stopped pretending to rape the unattractive woman and came right into me. You know, it was like I just saved this man from an unopportunistic ability to come inside of a woman he didn't find attractive. That would have been so embarrassing for him. And that's how I met your father.
Let's try to register the honey today.
Please stop writing smut live on stream. That's fucking wild. That's fucking wild. If you were like the host of the gangbang, you could forever just be like, oh my god, my best friend found her husband from my birthday gangbang. This made me spit out my fucking drink. Jeremy Kaufman said, New Hampshire is only for people who can handle elderly leftists protesting them via circus pantomime.
You serious?
I just don't even understand what's fucking happening anymore. Why, did I change the channel on interdimensional cable? I no longer have the diabetes pineapples. I have like weird sideshow elderly people. What is happening? Free State Project Wheel of Misfortune. Lose public schools. I don't know what that means. Lose your vote. Lose your rights. Lose your health care? Lose your home? Lose your rights again. Brother, Bruh, this person is just fucking insane. Imagine something called the Free State Project and people wanting you to have as much freedom as possible. And this person's like, if we don't steal money from people, we'll lose all these things. This is a protest or a campaign ad. Holy shit. Apparently there's a video someone gave. On one side are the Free Staters, led by brave men, women, and families who love liberty. On the other side, whatever this is.
Round and...
Oh, it's so close.
Oh, you, sir, lose your public schools. Let's see, where is...
Retired teacher.
Right here, right here. As a retired teacher, you can also lose your right to teach what you feel kids should...
I think the first time in my life, like I always hear about, we need more budget for the schools. We need to spend more money on the schools. And it turns out that like some places in New Hampshire actually, unironically, are reducing school budget because some people here have had the brain cells rubbing together to be like, hey, wait a minute, we spend an inordinate amount of money on public schools and yet all of the proficiencies continuously drop. So we're spending all this money and it's not even having any effect and people's property taxes are going fucking insane because the bulk of your property taxes go to fund these public schools that are clearly doing nothing with that money. And so it's the first time in my life I've ever seen the school budget reduced instead of having more pushed in it. And I'm like, that's how you know you picked a good place to live. When everyone's like, fuck them, these schools are worthless, they're doing bad things with our kids, take away their fucking money. Tied your school salary and budgets directly to their performance? Good! That's how it should be! Oregon also suspended reading and math requirements until 2030 pending further extension. Yeah, I don't want to end up like fucking Oregon, man. That's insane. Everyone just memory holes that the school system is bloated down with 50,000% middle management do-nothing jobs eating all the budget. Yes, get rid of more daycare jobs. Doge did not go far enough. So everyone's favorite guy, Robby Starbuck, he put out a video that says, it's time to expose Harley-Davidson again. What I found reveals shocking stupidity. I now see Harley-Davidson as hopelessly woke. My previous videos exposing Harley resulted in a huge stock collapse and promises that they'd change. But have they? My investigation into their recent hire sent me down a rabbit hole that tells me they've learned nothing from our last go-around. Their new CEO hire literally had DEI and woke policy deeply embedded in both of his most recent stops as CEO of Topgolf and Pizza Hut. That's the guy you bring in to change things, really. This included Pizza Hut funding a program during his tenure that he signed on to where they taught teachers to indoctrinate students with racist garbage about so-called white privilege. The document I lay out in this video shows how this program, which again he signed on to, directed teachers to put transgender books in their classroom libraries and have discussions about preferred pronouns and microaggressions with their kids in class. And it only gets worse from there. Their new chief brand officer in particular is a woke disgrace to the brand and writers. His name is Marcus Fisher, he, him, and let's just say he's not exactly a typical Harley writer. The he, him reference you'll understand after watching. Hiring him after you lose hundreds of millions due to wokeness is 100% indefensible. He came from a marketing agency that pushed DEI in marketing. He was the CEO there. Pushing DEI and wokeness is literally one of the big things that they did at his company. And you hire him after Harley gets torn to shreds for wokeness. It's incredibly, like, frustrating reading all of this from Robby because, like, he's had access to all of my Bridge information far before I even wrote the article. I've sent him information on Bridge multiple times in DMs, and he's even said that he would, like, do something with it. But here he is, like, pretending to still not understand what's going on. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? It's either incompetence or total contempt for your customer base at this point. No, it's neither incompetence or total contempt. It's desire for cultural control, which I guess comes with a side of contempt, but that's not the driving reason. When you see everything I lay out about him, there's really no question about where things stand. At this point, I don't think Harley deserves another chance. I think it's time to leave them and move on from a company that's willing to be this blatantly disrespectful after pretending that they'd change. I have much more I'll release in the coming weeks, but watch this and ask yourself if this resembles the people you'd imagine running a motorcycle company. Absolutely not, just disgraceful. And the new CEO never even bothered to call or reach out in private over the 10 months since Harley announced his hire. Seems like malpractice to me. Why would the CEO of Harley-Davidson reach out in private to you? Why would that even be something that they think of? Like, what? This would be like me getting angry that Matt Walsh didn't reach out to me when, like, I've made minimal attempts to even contact him. Like, I've sent him bridge stuff, but I'm not gonna get mad at him. I was like, he's fucking busy. Who the fuck am I to him, right? Like, I'm just a cartoon fox. I'm not like a large commentator for anything. He's not gonna know who the fuck I am. Every day he feels like more of a plant by these companies, you know? Because he's him, Kirsche. He's the DEI guy. I was like, it's nice to hear this information, right? But it's like, did we need to even get to this point? If we had people talking about Bridge 2 years ago, when I said that Harley-Davidson wasn't dropping DEI, maybe we could have prevented any of this from happening in the first place. This has been 2 years of knowing that Harley was still co-opted. 2 years of Robby Starbuck not paying attention to it. What are we doing? Robby's literally just grifting on the DEI topic. I was just like, I don't know. It makes me feel very deflated that he would rather, like, parade around himself as this paragon of destroying companies when he hasn't. And I've proven that he hasn't time and time again. It's just a little... I'm like reading through this like he has no idea what's happening and no idea why they're doing this. It's like, I know why they're doing this. I told you why they're doing this years ago. We even talked about it like more recently about why they're doing this. I don't get it. Share this and feel free to clip and use it however you want. Riders need to know what Harley-Davidson has become. We can't let them pretend to be something else. Well, if you want to know what Harley-Davidson has become, clearly you need to listen to me and not Robby Starbuck, because I was 2 years ahead of this guy. When he was claiming he got them to get rid of DEI, I immediately, days later, showed how that wasn't true at all. Per usual, I'm not concerned with monetization on this video, so everyone feel free to use this video however you want and get the word out. That's a weird thing to say. That's a like, some people are calling me an industry plant, so I better put out the idea that I'm not getting anything out of this. I don't know, man. So far, you've helped me change corporate policy at Tractor Supply. Wrong. John Deere. Wrong. Polaris. Wrong. Lowe's. Wrong. Ford. Wrong. Coors. Wrong. Stanley Black & Decker. Wrong. Jack Daniels. Wrong. DeWalt Tools. I don't know anything about that one. Craftsman. I don't know. Caterpillar. Wrong. Boeing. Wrong. Toyota. Wrong. Walmart. Wrong. McDonald's. Wrong. Meta. Wrong. Target. Wrong. Accenture. I don't know. Pepsi. Wrong. Gatorade. I don't know. Rockstar Energy. I don't know. AT&T. Wrong. Corona Beer. I don't know. Modelo Beer. I don't know. Pacifico Beer. I don't know. IBM. Wrong. Reynolds American. I don't even know what the fuck that is. And all the other companies they own, crazy thing is, that's not even the full list. No! The crazy thing is that you're wrong about all of these companies! Asterisk, except maybe the ones I know nothing about because I haven't looked into them. But there's so many he's been wrong about, and I've showed how he's wrong about them. So this is like, what the fuck is happening? We're a force to be reckoned with, and we won't stop until wokeness is extinct. Then say something about fucking Bridge! Here's his video.
If you've ever ridden a Harley or have thought about buying a Harley, you are going to want to see this video. It is time once again to expose Harley-Davidson. If you don't already know, I previously exposed Harley-Davidson over a year ago, and it created a firestorm. Every media outlet covered it. Tens of millions of people watched my videos. My stories led to massive losses for the company, both in actual sales and in stock price. And in response, Harley-Davidson said they were dropping all these crazy woke policies I had exposed. But you
know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Hold on, I need to stop him right there. We're about 27 seconds in. This post of mine, once again, September 30th, 2024. September 30th, 2024. Earlier this year, we initiated an internal stakeholder review to better align company activities to the needs of both our business and community. Based on our review, we're committed to the following. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, we see it as every leader's role to ensure we have an employee base that reflects our customers and the geographies in which we operate. It is critical to our business that we hire and retain the best talent and that all employees feel welcome. That said, we have not operated a DEI function since April 2024, and we do not have a DEI function today. We do not have hiring quotas, and we no longer have supplier diversity spend goals. All right, so already in the first bullet point, all of these articles, and so now I'm going to read you the articles that Starbuck was pointing at and saying, look at all of the damage that we've done. Look at all of these articles celebrating Harley-Davidson dropping DEI. Harley-Davidson is dropping diversity initiatives after right-wing anti-DEI. Harley-Davidson dropping DEI policies. Harley-Davidson slams brakes on woke policies. Harley-Davidson hits brakes on DEI. Now, Harley-Davidson dropping DEI policies. MAGA celebrates Harley-Davidson DEI statement. Harley-Davidson cuts DEI practices after activist backlash. Woke Harley-Davidson ditches DEI, folding to right-wing. Based on our review, we are committed to the following: diversity, equity, and inclusion. When every single news article is telling you that they are dropping it, and one of the first things they say in their thing is, we are committed to this thing, this should set off red flags to absolutely fucking everyone. They literally said it right there. For some reason, people are celebrating this as a victory, and it's not. And it's like, I know the people who are anti-DEI know what diversity, equity, and inclusion means. So if you are anti-DEI and a company says, yeah, we're committed to DEI, why would you celebrate that they're getting rid of it? Yeah, hashtag bridge alert, dude. Man, that's crazy how the English language, I know. I feel like I'm living in fucking an extra crazy clown world because so many people are just like, yeah, this is great. And I'm glad over here on the side, some people are calling it out. Like Quartering said, I literally cannot believe you thought this was a good idea. Holy smokes. The Quartering actually being credited. Ha! How the mighty have fallen in current year. But Robby over here is like, we've done it again. And one of these doors, I'll bring this up big. I'll make it big. DEI at Tractor Supply. Again, Tractor Supply had the most believable letter. And we found out later, unfortunately, they were not dropping their DEI. That kind of sucks. Getting away from DEI. Obviously, I don't believe them 100%. Definitely want to make sure that they're actually doing that. John Deere did not get rid of wokeness, did not get rid of DEI. They doubled down, just like Microsoft did. DEI at Harley-Davidson is not going away. They quite literally just doubled down on it. So I don't know why he's celebrating. I don't understand. Am I retarded? Like, what? And once again, the date on that clip is September 30th, 2024. If you are watching my content, you are more informed about DEI than if you're following Robby Starbuck. That's insane. It's like, holy fuck, please. And every time I reply with stuff like this, it just goes ignored. It's like, I know you see it. I know you're replying to other people in your comments. Like, holy crap, I saw the at and the HAR and nearly started to hyperventilate replying to Harvey's pistol and pawn. But completely ignoring how they've just been doing this for years after he claimed victory. It's almost like he's doing it on purpose. It's almost like I don't like calling people controlled opposition because like streamers lob that kind of accusations at each other all the time. But it's just like, what else am I supposed to think? Ronald Big Don, thank you. Think about it, Kirsche. When there's pushback, communists corrupt the resistance. One look at the right wing in 2026 is proof, and Robby stinks of sus. I hope maybe he's just like biding his time to like release something huge on Bridge. But like, I don't know. It's just kind of exhausting.
To be a fair guy. When Harley-Davidson said that they were making all these changes, I said, you know what? Let's give them some time. Let's give them a little bit of time so they...
He said the same to Harley that I'm saying to him. Let's give him a little bit of time.
Can work this out. They're getting a new CEO in, and let's see what changes they actually make. I regret to inform you, unfortunately, today I am going to have to expose them again because what I have found over a year later tells me that Harley-Davidson has not—
Oh no! Unfortunately, there were no warning signs before this point, so I have to get all the attention again. It's only me exposing Harley. Oh, guys, nobody else has done this.
Not changed, and that at this point it is time for Harley-Davidson riders to leave and go to another brand. There's so much crazy stuff it's kind of hard to know where to start, but we'll start here. Here's the new CEO, Artie Starrs. So after an extremely tumultuous—
That's a Hollywood name.
—was torn down and now is seen as weird, woke, and weak, you're gonna bring in a CEO that is gonna like project the masculine identity of the brand, right? The pro-America identity of the brand. Well, maybe not so much. Let me tell you a little bit.
Sorry for all the straw noises.
Background. So where does Artie come from? Not a motorcycle company. Actually, in this press release you see his most recent stop was CEO of Topgolf. So let's take a look at some of the things that were happening at Topgolf when he was CEO. Oh, would you look at that. When he was CEO, Topgolf had a pride group. Now I want you to take a close look at what this actually says. It says here, we envision a world at Topgolf where our family celebrates our LGBTQIA+ community. As one team, we will advocate, support, and bring education and equality. We are the pride of Topgolf. Are you getting Harley-Davidson vibes?
Imagine giving a woman credit for her work. Imagine. Oh, is this actual misogyny?
Yet? If so, you're going to absolutely love this. When Artie was CEO at Topgolf, Topgolf was also supporting this PGA of America sanctioned LGBTQ+ golf tournament, and it was raising money for who else? San Francisco Pride. And here's a little taste of what a San Francisco Pride event is like. And yes, it's what it looks like. I'd show you more, but it was all
That's a penis.
Inappropriate. It's just the beginning, but is this really seeming like the guy to turn around a brand that has a wokeness problem? And where was Artie before Topgolf? He was president and then CEO of Pizza Hut, where they pushed DEI quite aggressively, as you can see from this old LinkedIn post of his. So when Artie Starrs was president and then CEO of Pizza Hut partnered with something called First Book to launch a collection of anti-racism resources for educators. We're gonna get to those resources.
What does that have to do with pizza?
Part of this program actually was to have one of the guys from Queer Eye who wrote a book for children go read to children in partnership with Pizza Hut. If there's any motorcycle vibes coming from this, it probably looks something like this. But back to those resources that Pizza Hut sponsored. Let me dive in with you and show you what they were teaching educators to teach our children. And just so nobody forgets, this was happening while Artie Starrs was CEO. And if you doubt me after what I'm about to show you, just take a look right there. That is his signature on this document.
That is his signature.
One of the first things you see in this document is them pointing out the word privilege. I wonder why that is. As predictable as ever, it is because they want to teach kids that white people are privileged.
What?
And they go on.
They're disrespecting fucking Nathaniel Bacon? What the? There is nothing that they will not corrupt. Acts of violence against black communities are often identified on social media by the hashtag Black Lives Matter. Oh my God.
DLM, an organization that now I think has been entirely discredited after founders have been investigated over and over, buying multi-million-dollar mansions. And this document, again, I have to stress this, Artie Starrs, CEO of Pizza Hut at the time, now CEO of Harley-Davidson, the guy they brought in to clean up the wokeness mess, this document that he signed on to, that his signature—
Fucking microaggressions. Microassaults are overt attacks intended to communicate discriminatory or based feelings about a person or group. An educator calls on all white students before calling on any BIPOC students. The underlying message is, I don't see you as equal to white students. I have a feeling a majority of teachers aren't even thinking about who they're calling on beyond, like, does this person actually answer the question or do they waste my time? Literally breathing is a microaggression. Micro insults that come across as compliments, but they convey insensitivity or rudeness that demeans a person's identity. You are so articulate, underlying message is, it is unusual for someone of your race to be intelligent. How do you take a compliment and twist it into something like that? What? The Joe Biden special. What the actual fuck? This document that he's reading looks kind of familiar. I'm having like a PTSD flashback to one of the bridge things that we covered. And there was like this giant road map picture. And it had like dotted lines and weird bubbles like this. And you went through like each step and it told you about like different levels of microaggressions and microassaults and how to like better bridge gaps between like certain teams of people and whatnot. And it was like the weirdest fucking thing. I can't remember exactly what that was from. Oh my god. How did he go from the CEO of a pizza chain to the CEO of a large motorcycle company? That's pretty common. Like, if you have experience as a CEO, you can go from, like, the CEO of a printer company to, like, a grocery store chain CEO. Like, that, it's pretty common for them to shuffle around and go through stuff like that. I don't like that that's common. Because, like, yeah, they have CEO experience, and they might be able to, like, take on some of that from a different perspective, but I feel like people who want to lead a motorcycle company should probably like motorcycles, not just have CEO experience, you know? But that's just, like, my idealism showing its head.
Is on, just to really stress that. They're teaching about microaggressions. And you know what, Artie, I did learn something. After reading this document, I think this entire video is probably a microaggression of some sort, or many different microaggressions. So for that, I would apologize, but I don't care. This document also tells teachers to teach about intersectionality, a concept that the far left pushes. It's what says that the LGBTQ plus community should align with the radical Islamist community, even though they're total cross currents with each other in their long-term goals. But they're supposed to unite together under intersectionality.
Oh, they're promoting this book is anti-racist as well. Anti-racism is just racism.
How can you as a student support ongoing efforts for equity? Equity, again, by the way, is not equality, just so everybody's clear. Equity means equal outcomes, not equal opportunities, equal outcomes.
Jasmine's nothing like you. She's black. That book is called Little Allies, it's a children's book.
It is communism. It shares accounts from successful teachers in this program. This one says they had a lot of white students one year, so they taught about privilege. And then they talk about their different experience with a lot of Latinx students. As a Latino myself, please stop using this term. It is absolutely fundamentally insane. But what's even more insane is that a freaking pizza company paid for this document, okay?
True!
So
that is insane.
Guy running this clown show, if we can call it that, I think it's something much worse, is now in charge of what is supposed to be the most masculine pro-America biker brand. Make it make sense. They also ask teachers to ask themselves, do you have transgender books in your library for your students? It also, and I can't stress enough how racist this is, anti-white and racist this is, they ask teachers who are white to stop and understand your whiteness and the impact your identity has on students.
I haven't been reading a ton of what's behind him, but this says, I'm a white person teaching mostly BIPOC students. First, before launching into conversations about race, it is important for educators and students to understand that everyone has a race. White children and adults have the privilege of believing their racial identity is normal or neutral, while everyone else is different or other. And not a single one of us white people think that. What the Like, yeah, if you live in Britain, a normal British person is going to be white. That is what British is. What are we doing? That's just like if I go to Chad, the normal Chad person will be black. That doesn't mean there's like a default normal setting for the entire globe. This is like completely fucking wild. It's not normal to be white. Yeah, it's not even a privilege. Like, what the fuck? They have to twist it into one so they can pretend to be a victim, though. And this is because white is so often left out of the discussion of race when everyone else's race is named. It is important that students understand that everyone is a part of a racial group. Additionally, if you are a white educator, it is critically important that you take the time to understand your whiteness and the impact your identity has on the students and families you serve. Experts recommend reading Me and White Supremacy. I can't read who wrote that because of his head, which offers a 28-day guided something and self-exploration of whiteness. Absolutely should not be a thing. And I'm also having a PTSD flashback to something very similar to this that we read about how, like, white teachers have the responsibility of teaching their children about how they have privilege as other white people. I wish I could remember some more of these, like, things like where they came from that we've covered over the years.
And it tells them to read a book called Me and White Supremacy. Absolutely insane. Anybody who would put this vile garbage in front of teachers and students so that kids can be indoctrinated should not be running a dog catching program, let alone one of the biggest companies on earth, let alone one of the companies that pretends to be a seminal American brand. They also recommend as resources a book by Ibram Kendi, a guy that says to be anti-racist, you must be anti-capitalism. And they also promote a book about gender identity so the kids can question whether or not they're actually a boy or a girl. And you know what? You might say, but Robby, he did this before he got to Harley-Davidson. Come on, maybe he changed. Well,
she was only bombing buildings as a communist operative in the 70s. She could have changed her mind.
Let's take a look at this comment where Arthur Stars, he says, psyched to have you on the ride, my friend. I wonder who he's psyched to have on the ride. Oh, that would be a guy named Marcus Fisher, who Harley-Davidson has named their chief brand officer.
That name sounds familiar.
Use that voice in just about 1 second.
That name sounds
Marcus
familiar.
Fisher, and yes, he has pronouns on his page. Yes, that is really
he's a
him,
white guy.
And yes.
I was thinking maybe it was that black guy that we went to his website and he had all these DEI videos, and that was how we found out that Snoop Dogg is also on board with DEI, and I was like, what the fuck?
Those are his pronouns. Before he was named the chief brand officer at Harley-Davidson, he was the CEO of Carmichael Lynch. Carmichael Lynch is on the forefront of pushing DEI in advertising, and no, I am not joking you. So here's...
If they're pushing DEI in advertising, they have more deeply embedded DEI issues. Because once again, Bridge, many years ago, said that DEI should not be siloed off to HR and marketing. If you are just now seeing companies start DEI marketing, that is not the starting point of where it is at this point. They are embedding themselves and then branching out to marketing afterwards.
That's what I'm going to show you. Just a collection of posts from the new chief brand officer of Harley-Davidson. And they don't even respect writers enough to have tried to scrub all this. It's all right there. You can go.
It's all right there. You can Google it. You don't say. You don't say. All the information about how Harley-Davidson is not woke has been replied to you in your comment section multiple times. Sent you DMs of all the stuff I've investigated. All that information is at your fingertips. All you have to do is inform your base of people about it. Like, I literally, like, he doesn't even need to, like, bring me on and say anything. He could just be like, there's a cartoon fox woman. Here's stuff she investigated. Here's why it's important. Here's why you should know how this is happening. It was literally there the entire time.
Look at it yourself. Here he is pushing for more transgender representation in advertising for vehicles, which seems, kind of relevant. Here he is celebrating a diversity achievement with Hillary Clinton. He really looks forward to DEI conferences. And I mean, he really looks forward to them. I mean, there's more.
I will never forget posting information about, like, Bridge at the Cannes Lions Festival with Microsoft doing panels together. And people being like, Kirsche, you're just being crazy. They're obviously getting rid of DEI. This is just like something you've assumed and made up in your own head.
Multiple posts like this where he's just super excited about DEI conversations that are happening to push more DEI in advertising. He really, really, really cares about that. I'm sure all the Harley riders are going to be very excited to find out that the new chief brand officer of Harley-Davidson is very excited to affirm his allyship with the LGBTQ plus IA whatever letters.
I was like, it's nice that we get information about these specific individuals. I haven't released information about these specific individuals. But again, if you had known 2 years ago when I said that Harley-Davidson is not dropping DEI, maybe something could have been done to influence Harley-Davidson to not even hire these guys in the first fucking place. And so they would be someone else's problem and not Harley-Davidson's problem.
There are now community. So exciting. Harley riders are also going to be very excited to find out that Marcus's previous company had a special program specifically for people who are not white. Isn't that so thoughtful? And
That's very thoughtful.
Racist. Totally not racist in any way.
It can't be racist, right? White people aren't even people. You can't be racist to not people.
To have a program that specifically excludes one race. Actually, come to think of it, I think when I was in school, and this is before school got all, kind of weird and woke, I think they taught us that was racism when you excluded specifically one race to give a benefit to other races, but not the one specific one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that's what they called it. They called it racism. And male Harley riders, you're going to be very excited to find out that at his former company, they actually sent a representative to Cannes, the film festival, to do a whole
You mean the festival I was just talking about? That Bridge was at? That Bridge was doing panels with Microsoft at? That festival? Wow, that's crazy, bro.
Presentation on the stereotypes of masculinity. This one was extra special to me. Somebody commented on a post of his former company where they do the whole pride thing, and they say, what are you guys really doing to ally with the LGBTQ plus IA community? And Marcus responded. Marcus wanted them to know that his company did a drag show at the office where they raised $12,000 to support LGBTQ plus IA groups, including ones that affirm transgenderism in children. He also brags that they had an all-agency pronouns presentation to educate and make the employees better allies for the LGBTQ plus community. Guys, I wish I was joking. I wish that this guy was not actually the chief brand officer of Harley-Davidson.
Well, maybe he wouldn't be if you knew 2 years ago when I proved that Harley didn't drop DEI. Maybe you could have used your connections to ensure he didn't get hired. Because you seem to have industry connections. I don't.
But that is exactly what Artie Starrs has signed up for. One of the first big hires after Artie became CEOs is this guy as Chief Brand Officer of Harley-Davidson. The guy who wrote those posts that I just showed you. That's who they brought.
Maybe that's why Harley hired him. They thought he had experience with drag racing.
Brought in to be the face of the brand, Chief Brand Officer. After a giant explosion among Harley riders who were angry about the brand going woke. Again, make it make sense. I can only surmise that they think that Harley-Davidson riders are stupid. That is all I'm left with.
I mean, wouldn't that also apply to you, that you think your audience is stupid? Because you keep doing stuff super late even after you're told that you're wrong and DEI hasn't been dropped, but yet you still keep claiming victories and you still have clapping seals in your replies. I just, like, what are we doing here?
I can't think of any other explanation that explains this behavior aside from being like avowed communists or something like that.
They are avowed communists. That's the whole point.
It's much easier to explain this by saying, you know, they must think Harley riders are dumb, that you guys won't figure this out, that you won't leave and go to another brand. So I think that's what needs to be done, is everybody's got to just make the switch. Sean Strickland did, and he said it better than I could. Every time he got on his Harley, he felt like he was indirectly supporting a radical ideology that he disagreed with. So here's the thing. Harley apparently feels so insulated. They feel like their brand is so strong. They're what's so special. They can survive and just force wokeness and make these hires, and you're just going to suck it up and continue to buy bikes. Well, I have a different theory. I think what makes Harley special and what has made Harley a seminal American brand is the riders. I think where you guys go is where that goes, right? So they don't survive without you. The truth is...
I mean, he's completely correct about that. If enough people were able to just stop buying certain things, companies would start collapsing a lot faster. And legacy companies like this are much different from like video game companies, where they can just collapse and then the workers go somewhere else and infect somewhere else. It's much, much harder to collapse a company well established over a gajillion years, like Budweiser or like Harley-Davidson, than it is to collapse a games company. So you need a lot more people to come together and be like, I'm not gonna buy your shit. And eventually someone in that company is gonna break the ideological ranks and be like, we will not survive if we keep doing this. Maybe this was a bad idea. They say commie things, they do commie things, they say they're commies. What more does he need? I don't fucking know, man. It's always been this way. We have the numbers advantage. Highly recommend. Do what you can. It's very hard to just like not buy anything from any of these companies. As you've seen with Bridge, they're involved with massive companies. Like Condé Nast is fucking huge, brother. McCormick Spices. I didn't even know other spice companies existed, man. Like, it's crazy. Ignorant boomers are the only thing keeping Harley afloat anyways. And my mom really liked Harley, ironically enough.
You are what made Harley strong, and you will make whatever company you switch to strong as well. And the message will be sent to corporate America and to anybody who wants to slap the face of their consumers that consumers have choices. We can take our money and vote with it.
Yes, so he's completely right. You really hate to say it, but you think people like Starbuck and Sargon would never acknowledge Bridge because they know that if they do, they'd have no choice but to acknowledge you, an anime woman, and they need to prioritize catering to their brain-dead audience over actually reporting on Bridge. You know, genuine grifters. I wouldn't call Sargon a grifter. I think it's weird that he has this like anime racism considering he was a PNG for so long. Like, it seems very like ladder pulley to me, but it's like, whatever, man.
It's time for everybody to make a switch. If you agree, share this video, and any podcasts out there, YouTube channels, whatever, you have my full permission. Use this video however you want to. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I want all the monetization. I don't care about monetization.
You just care about getting the attention for destroying these companies, which you didn't do. Noted. Duly noted.
You just share this to your audiences so that riders know exactly what it is they're supporting when they ride a Harley.
I quote retweeted this. Like, it's sad. He even has, like, Elon Musk listening to him. Purge the woke mind virus. Yeah, I wish. He quote retweeted his video and said, in 6 hours, we have about 500,000 views, angry members of Congress, bikers planning to trade bikes for another brand, and media all over the world reporting on this, and the most successful businessman of all time, Elon Musk, agreeing with me. X is the place where change happens. I'm like, maybe this is an egotistical thing where, like, he doesn't want to share in the glory, I guess, but it's like, it's not even about the glory of being the person to take down DEI companies. It's like, this is, like, negligent to the point of you are a malicious actor, that you're trying to keep information that would help so many people, especially with purchasing decisions, because of how many companies are involved with Bridge. Like, there's no reason to not give out the information on this company. It's insane. And I read this and I just saw fucking red because it's like, are you kidding me? Yeah, change would happen faster if people knew about Bridge. I knew Harley-Davidson was not dropping DEI in September of 2024. Again, where I posted this clip of me from September 30th, 2024, telling Robby that he's wrong. It's been captured for years. He came out and celebrated Harley-Davidson dropping DEI when they didn't. All you need is reading comprehension. I was just like, I knew this not because I'm smarter than anyone else or have the gift of clairvoyance. It's just because I read what Harley and Bridge say they're going to do. Like, this isn't even the result of me being overtly more intelligent than people. It's just having the ability to fucking read. The problem is, if he solves the problem, he no longer has a job and loses the fame and money. He was a director. He can do other things that isn't chasing DEI companies if the companies actually go back to being normal. That's what you want us to think, Cassandra Verstahl. Jesus Christ. You are smarter than the average person, but that's beside the... I wouldn't see Robby as the average person. He's got a massive platform. Almost 1 million followers. He's at 864K. He's been a filmmaker. He's been a director. He has, like, contacts with politicians and industry people. That's how he gets some of his information. It's crazy. Real black pill is that barely anyone actually wants to stop bitching about it. They want to keep making money off of bitching about it. That was a big criticism lobbed at, like, the original, like, Gamergate movement, where it seemed like the feminists and the skeptics would just purposefully argue back and forth to increase, like, donos and viewership for the both of them. And it's like, I don't want to play some fucking gay content creator dance. I want things to actually get fucking fixed. If things get fixed and I don't have to report on it anymore, that means I can play more video games that I actually enjoy playing. I don't understand why somebody would want to keep these things going. Like, do something else. Complain about something else, man. You don't like the stupid grifter-controlled opposition shill baby? He waited 2 years for when it's safe to make the videos. Dude needs to go away. I think he does some good things, right? And he gets good information when he has, like, a team of people digging into stuff with him. But then, like, refuses to see when he's wrong. He's just like, we got rid of DEI in these companies. And it's like, no, you haven't. They're lying to you. I have proof that you're being lied to. I can show you all of this shit. Stop believing them, man. You think he causes harm because he makes people think these brands remove? Yes, I can agree with that as well. I think he also does harm when he makes people believe that these companies are dropping DEI, because that makes it that much harder for me, a literal who, to say, hey, that's not happening. Because people will just be like, well, it is happening. Robby Starbuck said so. And it's like, well, here's information to prove that it's not. And it's like, well, you're just making things up because Robby Starbuck said that we're winning. It's like, what the fuck are you supposed to do here, man?